Stop. Don't scroll past this. I need you to pause right now, because something is about to shift in your life, and you need to hear this before it arrives. This isn't random. This isn't coincidence. The fact that you're here, the fact that you clicked on this, it's not an accident. There is a door in your life, a door you closed a long time ago, a door you decided was locked forever, a door you stopped even looking at because it hurt too much. Maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was an opportunity, maybe it was a version of your life you once believed in and quietly buried. You know the door I'm talking about. You felt it the moment I said it. But I'm telling you, tonight, that door is about to open. Not in your imagination, in your actual real life. An unexpected blessing is coming from that direction, a breakthrough you didn't plan for, an opportunity you stopped believing in, and you need to prepare, not with panic, not with striving, but with a quiet, steady readiness, the kind that comes from knowing something true is on its way, even before you can see it. In the days ahead, I need you ready, ready to receive, ready to recognize what's coming, ready to claim what was always meant to be yours. Stay with me. What I'm about to tell you will change how you see every closed door in your life, my child. I see you. I see those doors. All of them. The one from 5 years ago that you finally stopped checking. The one from last year that made you cry when you realized it was truly closed. The ones you never even tried to open because you already knew the answer would be no. I see how you protected yourself. I see how you built walls around those doors so you wouldn't accidentally hope again. I see how you told yourself, "This is fine. I'm fine. I don't need that anyway." But I know the truth. Deep inside, you never stopped believing. You just stopped showing it. You compartmentalized the longing. You learned to smile while your heart carried the weight of closed doors. You became strong because you had to, not because it came easily. I remember the nights you lay awake replaying what went wrong. I remember the mornings you woke up and, for a split second, forgot the disappointment before it settled back onto your chest like it always does. I was there for every one of those mornings. The rejection shaped you. The disappointment hardened you. The locked doors became your story. I'm someone things don't work out for. I'm someone who tries and fails. I'm someone who gets left behind. That's the narrative you've been living in. You've repeated it so many times, in so many quiet moments, that it started to feel like fact instead of feeling. And I need you to know something that will shatter that story. It was never true. You aren't exempt from disappointment because you're special. You're about to be surprised because what looks locked isn't always locked. What looks closed can open. Sometimes the doors that hurt the most to close are the ones I'm preparing to open. It's almost always the door you grieved the longest that gets reopened the most unexpectedly, because the grief itself is proof of how much it mattered to you, and I don't waste what matters to you. Behold, I have set before you an open door, which no one is able to shut. That promise wasn't written for someone else, in some other time. It was written for you too, for this exact season of your life. That's what's happening right now, even while you're listening to these words. I know some of you are skeptical of a message like this. You've heard promises before. You've watched videos that told you good things were coming, and then you closed your laptop and life went right on looking exactly the same as it did before you pressed play. I'm not asking you to abandon your discernment. keep it. Use it. What I am asking is that you set it aside for the length of this message, just long enough to actually hear what's being said, rather than filtering it in advance through every disappointment that came before. You can pick your skepticism back up the moment this ends, if you still want it. But give these next 20 minutes a fair hearing first, because underneath the skepticism, I know there's still a small, stubborn part of you that hopes this might actually be true this time. That part of you is the one I'm speaking to right now. Let me tell you something about those doors, about why they closed, about why I allowed them to close. You think they closed because you weren't good enough. You think they closed because you didn't deserve what was behind them. You think the universe is random and luck simply wasn't on your side. That's not what happened. Every door that closed for a reason. Protection, redirection, timing, not punishment, and not proof that you were somehow lacking. Maybe that door closing saved you from something that would have broken you in ways you can't yet imagine. Maybe what was behind it would have distracted you from something far greater, something you weren't even looking for yet. Maybe you weren't ready then, and closing that door was the only way to give you time to become who you needed to be. Think back on it honestly for a moment. Is there a door from years ago that you now understand differently than you did at the time? A relationship that ended, and looking back, you can finally see it would have kept you small? A job you didn't get that freed you for something you couldn't have predicted? I'm not asking you to pretend the pain wasn't real. I'm asking you to notice the pattern. I don't close doors to hurt you. I close them because I see the whole picture. And right now, you can only see the piece in front of you. For I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Even the waiting was part of the plan. Even the silence had a purpose, though I know silence is the hardest part to trust. Here's what matters. A closed door was never the same as a locked one. Closed means not open right now. Locked means it will never open. And the doors you've been grieving, the ones you decided were locked forever, many of them were only closed, waiting for the right timing, for you to grow, for you to become ready, for circumstances outside your control to finally align. I know waiting has felt, at times, indistinguishable from being forgotten. Silence can feel like absence, especially when it stretches on for years instead of weeks. But silence was never absence. There is a difference between a door that nobody is standing behind and a door where someone is quietly working on the other side, getting everything ready before they open it. Yours has always been the second kind. That moment is now. Something is shifting. An unexpected blessing is on its way to you. It's coming from a direction you stopped looking. It's coming through a door you thought was sealed shut. It may arrive in a form you don't recognize at first because it won't look exactly like you imagined it would back when you first started hoping. It's coming through a door you thought was sealed shut. It may arrive in a form you don't recognize at first, because it won't look exactly like you imagined it would, back when you first started hoping, but it will be what you need. More than that, it will be what you've been secretly hoping for all along, even in the moments you told yourself you'd stopped hoping entirely. I want you to picture, for a moment, the door itself, not as a symbol, but as something real. The wood of it, maybe worn from how many times you used to knock, the handle you stopped reaching for. somewhere in you, you still remember exactly what it felt like the last time you tried it and it didn't give. That memory is not going to be replaced by a different memory of that same door being locked again. It's going to be replaced by the memory of it finally opening and you standing there for a second, almost not believing it, before you step through. Hold on to that image lightly, not gripping it with anxious hope, the kind that turns hope into a demand, just holding it the way you'd hold something fragile and valuable, with open hands, trusting that it's coming, even before you can prove it to yourself. I need to speak to the pain you've been carrying, the pain of watching others walk through doors that closed for you, the pain of seeing people with less effort, less struggle, less sacrifice, receive what you were denied. That pain is real, and I see it. I see you watching your friends celebrate. I see you genuinely happy for them while quietly mourning for yourself in the same breath. I see you comparing your timeline to theirs and feeling left behind, even when you know comparison isn't fair. I see you wondering, why not me? What do they have that I don't? And I know you've asked the deepest question, maybe not out loud, maybe just in the quiet space right before sleep. God, do you love them more than you love me? I want to answer that directly. I don't love anyone more than I love you. My love isn't measured by how quickly I open doors. It isn't proven by your speed of success. It isn't conditional on your circumstances, your income, your relationship status, or how your life compares to anyone else's. My love is constant, unwavering, unchanging. It was there on your best day, and it was there on the day you didn't want to get out of bed. Think about the people in your life who love you well. Their love for you didn't grow because you achieved something, and it didn't shrink because you struggled. The best of human love mirrors, however imperfectly, something truer and steadier underneath it. My love is the source that even their love is only borrowing from. It was never on a scale that tips based on your performance. While those doors were closed, I was building something in you. Strength, wisdom, resilience. I was shaping someone who could receive a blessing and actually keep it. Someone who could hold abundance without letting it destroy them or change who they are at the core. I also want to say something about comparison itself, because it has quietly been one of your heaviest burdens. You were never meant to walk the exact timeline of anyone else. Their door opening early doesn't mean yours is opening late. Their harvest arriving in spring doesn't mean yours has failed just because it's still winter where you are. Different soil, different season, different door entirely. Comparison only ever tells you where you stand next to someone else, never where you actually stand. Here's what I know about you that you may not know about yourself. You're capable of far more than you believe. The disappointment you've experienced was preparation. The closed doors were training. The waiting was building your capacity to receive what's coming. Many people are blessed before they're ready, and they lose it. They self-sabotage without realizing it. They give it away piece by piece because deep down they don't believe they deserve it, so they quietly push it back out the door they once begged me to open. But you have waited long enough, hoped quietly enough, grown through enough, that when this blessing arrives, you will know how to cherish it. You will know how to steward it well. You will know how to let it transform your life instead of letting your fear shrink it back down to something familiar and small. That's why the wait was worth it. That's why those other doors closed when they did, and not a moment sooner. I was preparing you for this exact moment, this exact door, the one that's about to open. I want to gently name something else because I think you'll recognize it. Somewhere along the way, waiting turned into a kind of armor. You stopped asking for things out loud. You stopped letting people know what you actually hoped for, because hoping out loud made the disappointment sharper when it came. You got quieter about your dreams, not because they faded, but because you were protecting them from being crushed again in front of an audience. You learned to want things privately, safely, where no one could watch you not get them. I noticed that shift in you. I noticed the exact season it happened, and I want you to know, it didn't go unseen, and it didn't cost you anything permanent. The dream you stopped saying out loud is still just as valid as the day you first believed it. Quiet hope is still hope. It counted every single time. I can't just tell you about this blessing. I have to prepare you to receive it. There's something you need to understand about how blessings work. They aren't random drops from the sky. They come through alignment, through readiness, through a prepared heart that has done the quiet work before the visible moment ever arrives. This is a pattern that shows up again and again across every generation, in every culture that has ever waited on a harvest. The farmers who thrived weren't the ones who simply hoped for rain. They were the ones who repaired their storehouses, mended their tools, and cleared their fields while the sky was still dry, trusting the rain was coming, even though they couldn't yet feel a single drop of it. In the old stories, when a great harvest was coming, the wise prepared their storehouses ahead of time. They cleared them out. They made space. They readied themselves to receive abundance long before it showed up at the door. Those who weren't prepared, who hadn't made room, struggled to hold what came, and some of it spoiled before they even knew what to do with it. I need you to prepare your storehouse. This isn't about positive thinking alone, and it isn't about pretending everything is already fine. This is about honestly getting your mind, your heart, and your life ready to receive something real. Here is what I'm asking of you in the days ahead. First, release the story, the narrative you've carried about those locked doors, the identity you built around rejection and waiting. You've told yourself, quietly, for years now, I'm someone things don't work out for. That story ends now. Let it go honestly, not by pretending the pain didn't happen, but by acknowledging plainly. That story was true for a season. My season is changing. You don't have to erase what happened. You only have to stop letting it write what happens next. Speak it out loud if you need to, even just once. The doors that closed were necessary. The wait was worth it. I'm ready now. A new chapter is opening, and I'm ready to step through it. Second, make space, literally and spiritually. Look at your life honestly. Look at your mental space. Look at your emotional capacity. Is there so much disappointment from the past that there's no room for something new to land? Are you carrying so much about what didn't work that you can't even imagine what might? In the days ahead, let go of grudges against those doors. Release anger at people who didn't choose you, even if the anger felt justified. Stop rehearsing what you lost over and over in your mind. Clear the clutter of old narratives so there's actually somewhere for the new thing to be placed. This is your storehouse preparation. When you make space, you send a signal to the people around you, to yourself, and to whatever you believe is greater than you. I'm ready. I believe something is coming. I'm preparing to receive it, not just hoping for it. Third, align your actions, because faith without works is empty. Belief that never moves your hands or your feet tends to stay just belief. If a relationship blessing is coming, invest in becoming the person you actually want to attract. Work on your patience, your communication, your own healing, not to earn love, but because a healed person receives love differently than a guarded one. If a professional blessing is coming, keep learning. Keep positioning yourself for the opportunity before it arrives, not after. Show up in small ways as the person you're about to become. If a season of provision is coming, practice generosity in whatever way is genuinely within your means. Not because generosity earns the blessing like a transaction, but because a generous heart tends to already be a prepared one. Don't wait passively for all of this to simply happen to you. Meet this moment halfway. Show through your actions, not just your words, that you're prepared. Fourth, and this one is quieter than the rest, guard your words in the days ahead. Be careful what you speak over your own life, even in passing, even as a joke. Nothing good ever happens to me is easy to say when you're tired and disappointed, but words like that have a way of settling into you deeper than you intend, shaping what you expect, which shapes what you notice, which shapes what you're able to receive. You don't have to force yourself into fake positivity. You simply have to stop rehearsing the old defeat out loud in your own voice, as if it's still the final word on your life. Let your words start to match the door that's actually opening, not the one that used to be closed. When you release the old story, make space, align your actions, and guard your words, you become ready to receive. Hands open, heart willing, saying quietly but firmly, "Yes, I'm ready. I believe." That readiness is what allows the blessing to land somewhere it can actually take root and grow, instead of somewhere too cluttered to hold it. Let me also say this plainly, because I don't want you to misunderstand what preparation means. Preparation is not proving your worth. You don't have to earn what's coming through perfect behavior or flawless faith. You couldn't, even if you tried, and that was never the arrangement to begin with. Getting out of your own way. It's removing the things that would cause you to miss the blessing or mishandle it once it arrives, not because you have to be perfect to deserve it, but because a cluttered storehouse struggles to hold a large harvest, regardless of whether the harvest was earned or freely given. So don't turn this into another performance to get right. Turn it into a gentle clearing out. A little more space each day, a little less grip on the old story each day. That's all preparation really asks of you. Now I want to prepare you to recognize what's coming, because the blessing might not look exactly like you imagined it. You've been picturing this door opening for so long. You have a specific image in your mind, a specific way it should look, a specific timeline for exactly how it should unfold, down to the details. Stay flexible, stay open. Rigid expectations have a way of making us miss the real thing, because we were only looking for the imagined version. What's coming might arrive through an unexpected person. A friend you haven't spoken to in years might reach out with no warning. Someone might recommend you for something you didn't even ask for. A connection might form that you didn't engineer or plan, one that seems to come out of nowhere. The blessing might arrive smaller than you expected at first. A small opening that quietly leads to a much larger one. A modest possibility that grows over weeks or months into a real and undeniable breakthrough. Or it might come so suddenly that you almost miss it entirely. A message, an email, a phone call you weren't expecting. An opportunity will appear, and you might be tempted to dismiss it before you even give it a chance. This won't work out anyway. It never does. When that temptation comes, pause. Breathe. Remember this moment, right now, while you're listening. Remember that something was promised to you. Ask yourself honestly, could this be it? More often than not, it will be. Not always in the exact shape you pictured, but in the substance that matters. Some of you are the type to research everything before you trust it. You'll want proof before you'll allow yourself to hope. That instinct has protected you before, and I don't fault you for it, but I'd ask you, gently, not to let it become the reason you talk yourself out of something real. Not every good thing announces itself with certainty from the start. Some of them ask for a small, reasonable leap before the proof catches up. This blessing may also require something from you. It likely won't fall into your lap without any response on your part. It may ask you to say yes to something uncertain, to take a measured, thoughtful risk, to move towards something that feels unfamiliar and a little frightening. That's where faith comes in. Faith isn't believing something will happen while you do absolutely nothing. Faith is believing something is possible and then taking the actual step toward it, even while your hands are shaking a little. Faith is noticing a crack of light under a door and gently, deliberately, pushing it further open instead of walking away because it isn't fully open yet. Be brave in the days ahead. Be willing to move, to reach out first, to say yes when your instinct is to protect yourself by saying no, to take the step your fear tells you not to take, because more often than not, the blessing is waiting just on the other side of that fear, not before it. I want to be honest with you about something. Bravery in this season might not feel like confidence. It might feel more like doing the shaky, uncertain thing anyway, heart-pounding, second-guessing yourself the entire way there. That's still bravery. Waiting for the fear to disappear before you act is not a requirement anyone has ever actually met. Every person who's walked through an unexpected door did it while still a little afraid. You're allowed to be one of them. I also want to speak to something that might happen afterward. After the door opens, after the blessing starts flowing into your life, there might be a moment of doubt that creeps in quietly. A moment where you wonder if this is really real. A moment where the old story tries to convince you that you don't deserve this, that it's temporary, that it will be taken away just like everything else was. When that moment comes, and it may well come, remember, you prepared your storehouse. You made space for this. You aligned your actions toward it. You are ready, even if a part of you still feels unsure. And what is given out of genuine love is not typically given only to be taken away on a whim. This blessing is yours to steward well. It isn't a test, and it isn't a trick designed to disappoint you again. It's an unexpected gift, arriving through a door you had long since decided was locked forever. One more thing I want you to hold on to, especially in the early days after it arrives. You don't have to understand everything about how or why it came together the way it did. You don't have to trace every thread back to its source before you're allowed to enjoy it. Some blessings make sense right away. Others only make sense looking back, months or years later, when you finally see how one small opening led to the next and the next, until the whole shape of it became clear. Give yourself permission to receive this without needing to fully explain it yet. Understanding can come later. Right now, what's asked of you is simply to receive it well. Before we continue, I want to give you a genuine moment to sit with everything you've just heard. If something in this message has stirred your heart, I invite you to pause the video right here, even for 30 seconds, and speak quietly, whether out loud or just in your own mind. I'm preparing my storehouse. I'm ready to receive. If it feels right to you, you're welcome to write below what door you believe is opening for you. Not for anyone else's benefit, and not because you're required to. Simply because naming a thing honestly, even to strangers scrolling past on their own nights, has a way of making the hope inside you feel a little more solid, a little more real. There's no required word here, no number, no phrase you need to type. Just an honest, unforced moment between you and whatever you believe is listening on the other side of it. That's enough on its own. That quiet moment of honesty is already its own small act of faith, and it doesn't need anything added to it to count. Let me tell you why this particular moment matters, why the timing of all of this feels as urgent as it does. Shifts are happening around you, many of them invisible right now. Alignments are occurring in places you can't yet see. The pieces are slowly moving into position, and you need to be ready. Not eventually, not someday when it's convenient, but now, in this season, you're currently living through. What you do in the days ahead will shape how you actually receive what's coming. Whether you're prepared or caught completely off guard, whether you step into this blessing with a settled confidence, or with hesitation that costs you time you didn't need to lose. Take this seriously, not out of fear or anxiety, but out of genuine commitment to your own readiness. Release the old story you've been carrying. Make space in your heart and your life. Align your actions with what you say you believe. Prepare your storehouse deliberately and honestly. Do these things, and when the door opens, and it will, you'll actually be ready to walk through it instead of standing there stunned. I also know some of you are going to close this video and go right back into a day that looks nothing like a breakthrough. Ordinary tasks, ordinary worries, nothing dramatic waiting on the other side of tonight. That's all right. Preparation rarely looks dramatic while it's happening. It looks like small, unremarkable choices made consistently in a life that seems unchanged on the surface, right up until the moment it isn't. Once the door opens, keep it open through how you tend it. Once the blessing flows, keep receiving it with an open, grateful hand. Once you step into what's new, resist the urge to keep glancing back at the locked doors behind you. Look forward, instead, to what's still opening ahead. This is your new chapter beginning right now, whether you feel entirely ready for it or not, and you are not walking into it alone. There's one more thing I want to leave you with before we close this part of the message. Somewhere down the road, after this blessing has settled into your life and started to feel normal, you'll have the chance to be the door for somebody else. A friend who's waiting the way you've been waiting. A stranger who needs exactly the kind of help you'll be in a position to give by then. When that moment comes, remember tonight. Remember what it felt like to be on the waiting side of a locked door, hoping someone, somewhere, actually saw you. Let that memory make you generous when it's your turn to open a door for someone else. That, too, is part of what this blessing is for. It was never meant to end with you alone. If this message met you exactly where you are tonight, I genuinely love for you to stay close to this channel. Not because a subscription changes anything about what's already coming for you. It doesn't. But because these messages are made specifically for people walking through exactly what you're walking through right now, and I'd like the chance to keep speaking honestly into your life. If that's something you'd want, you already know where the subscribe button sits. No pressure attached to it, and nothing lost. If you don't, just an open door of my own, offered quietly, if you'd ever like to keep coming back to hear more. And finally, if someone comes to mind right now, someone who has a locked door of their own, someone who's been waiting far longer than they've let on, someone who stopped believing out loud, but who, somewhere underneath it, is still quietly hoping, you might think of them today. If this particular message would mean something to them, you're always welcome to pass it along. That choice is entirely up to you. There's no obligation woven into it, only an open invitation, the same kind that's been offered to you tonight. Prepare your storehouse. Something is shifting, even now, even as these words end. That door is opening. Are you ready? Your unexpected blessing is coming. It's coming from a door you thought was locked forever, but it was only closed all along, waiting for you to finally be ready, and you're ready now.